we're going to take a look at something a lot of people don't like, and it's the high points. We got a 9 and a 45 that we're actually going to compare with each other. And these are a little different. Because of the way they're made, it's going to be kind of hard to get that that high tang grip. Because I mean, these slides come all the way down. You get a high tang grip, I mean, you're going to get railroad tracks. So it's going to have to be a little different. And plus, for the thumbs forward grip, that's going to be almost impossible. This one be all right, I think, because of the rail down here. You can get that grip going. But on the 9, which is hot right now, so we're not going to handle a lot in front of the camera, you don't have that rail, so you're going to have to figure something else out with the grip. So we're going to see how it shoots. We've heard a lot about them, did a little bit of research on them, and from what I understand, these things are almost indestructible. So let's see how they handle.
Before I shoot this one, they only come with one magazine. This is the C9, the 9mm compact, which high point you can't get compact, but that's
yeah.
A compact. This is a 10-round magazine. It comes with an 8-round magazine, which is still in the car. But according to High Point, the reason the slides are so large is because they are gas blowback.
Right.
And they have to have the weight behind them to be able to pick up that other round.
Right.
I'm used to the high tang grip, especially on a 1911. I don't want to weak wrist it. I don't want to weak wrist it, but get as high as possible without getting those slide bites on me. We'll try the 9 compact.
Get that bad man. How'd you like it?
Well, as you saw, I had one failure to feed, but I think that's because of the 2 little wings on the magazine. I'm sure with excessive use they'll eventually wear themselves out, but I noticed that last night when I was inspecting the weapons before we came out here. But pretty smooth, trigger's pretty smooth, slide's pretty smooth. I'd have to look at it some more to make a viable effect. It definitely did its job. It goes bang. Except for that one exception with the failure to feed. But like I said, the more you shoot it, it'll probably work those wings out. I'm actually kind of surprised.
You mean how it handles?
Yeah. Pretty surprised at how it handles. It's pretty smooth. Trigger pull is unloaded. Nothing in the magazine.
Right.
Trigger pull almost like a 1911.
And I don't know what that looks like in the camera, but he's not pointing that thing at me. He's pointing it off that way.
Here, I'll bring it closer. Almost like a 1911. A little bit heavier.
Yeah.
The weapon itself is a lot heavier, but the trigger pull's a little heavier than a 1911.
Now the other thing I noticed is that when this locks open, it stays there until you release the magazine.
Yes, it does. Another thing I do like about it, I'm going to point it downrange. The sights on it. Front one's yellow, the rear dots are orange, so it's very easy to pick up on your target. The grip feels very nice in your hands. Still get a pretty decent 360 grip on it. But instead of up here like a normal weapon, I have to put mine down here on the trigger well. So
did that bother you any?
not really. I mean, it felt pretty comfortable.
Okay.
That pistol grip is what makes the weapon, I think.
Here we go. I think. See what's happening?
Slide lock.
Huh?
Slide lock.
Nope.
What?
Look.
Oh.
I don't know how well you can see that, but the round on the inside, instead of going up, is pointing down. I hope you can see that. Holy crap. I think I know what's going on.
What do you think it is?
Let me try it one more time. Yep. We are used to, we're clear by the way, we are used to, when we grip this firearm, we're used to a high grip.
Right.
Right? So even if we go right here, right, we're still trying to come up with it. And we're slowing this down. We're dragging on that. Because the last few shots I had, I did this. Right here. Right on the front. So it gave me that grip. You understand what I'm saying? And I was still able to control it with putting pressure on the front. So I think we were slowing the slide down. And when we slowed the slide down, it started to pick it up, but then it got hindered because it didn't have the momentum. Because when I pulled the slide back, the round came back up. And then when I let it forward with all its weight, it was fine. So that's what I think was going on. You can
Basically, with a non-compact high point, any friction on that slide is going to slow it down and cause a failure to feed.
As you just saw.
3 times with him, once with me.
Other than that, I mean, look at the pattern. I mean, I got 3 holes touching right there. I don't think I missed anything.
Now keep in mind, we are not aiming dead center. We're aiming at the target, checking out the weapons. That's all we're doing.
I like it. Let's break the 45 out, see what happens.
Awesome. Alright. High point, 45. Unloaded, magazines in my pocket. Break out your Glock.
Let me make it safe.
We'll do a side-by-side comparison of a Glock 21 Generation 3. 3 or 4?
3.
Okay. Glock Generation 3. Same caliber, 45 caliber. This high point is massive.
It is. It's got about, what, ½ inch right there. And grips just a little bit longer. But I mean, I'm right to the back of it.
Now look at this. Maybe a 1/4 of an inch thicker. I don't have a micrometer, so I can't gauge the thickness, but that's probably an 1/8 or a 1/4 of an inch thicker than a Glock 21.
Oh!
And we're clear.
How'd you like it?
I didn't have a single failure to feed. Didn't have one malfunction. It's kind of sloppy. It shoots kind of sloppy. Trigger pull's real solid.
Uh-huh.
Blows straight back. All that weight on top of a high point helps it blow straight back.
Right.
It just feels kind of sloppy. I mean, feels like it has slide slap when it's moving.
Well, I think it's like that for a reason, though.
But it went bang all 8 times.
Do you really think it's important, though, for a gun to go bang every time you pull the trigger?
Every time.
But you know, you've already got a brick, right?
Right.
You put a light on this, you got a building.
Right.
You know?
I think you'll like it.
Well, we'll see. All right, let's get down to business here. Man, that freaking wind. And we're clear. For a brick, it's all right. I mean, just from looking at it, 4 out of 8 rounds were a little off, but the rest of them are, I mean, you know, I can pass a truck through there. I mean, the sights are easy to pick up. The grip, I think you're right, the grip does make the gun. Because if it wasn't for the grip the way it is, it would be, what's the word I'm looking for?
A brick.
Cumbersome. You know what I'm saying? It'd be really hard to control. It's not hard to control in the recoil. You get a little jump in the muzzle flip, you know. You get a little bit, but I mean, with the weight of this slide, it just brings it right back down where you want to be.
Yeah, I felt that it came straight back. Of course, maybe I had a higher grip on it than you do.
Yeah, I wasn't as high up as I usually am. I got a little bit of railroad track off of it, but not bad.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. I got some too.
Yeah. But
it doesn't hurt as long as you're not up against it.
But then again, your point of it went bang every time, that's important. And you know, especially like during a home invasion, they're going to be right here.
Or
so if you just jam
right
that
there.
thing out and start pulling trigger, you're going to get them. And that's what you want. Would I carry that? No, probably not. Not unless Feinstein finds all the rest of mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then I'd carry it and I'd use it to get me something better. But I kind of like the damn thing.
I want to do another test. You know, we'll pause quickly, load up another magazine, and we'll rapid fire these.
Yeah, we're going to rapid fire. These are fully automatic. Not really, but...
With no concern as to how accurate they are. I just want to see if
what do you say we get a little closer and do the... Because, I mean, if you're going to be firing that rapid, I mean, shit's done gone wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, anytime you have to pull your weapon, something went wrong. But still. Let me lock this open. Okay, ready? I'm just going to punch right out center mass.
Threat!
What?
Threat! Try that again.
Alright, go for it.
Threat! That time when I rapid fired, it's not really rapid fire, but you get the point. I actually had my thumb off.
Uh-huh. Still did it?
Still did it. I noticed once I got about 7 rounds in the magazine, loaded 7 rounds in the magazine, instead of the rounds pointing up like they normally do, the 7th one started pointing straight out. 8th one was level. 9th one was down a little bit. The 10th one was up. Since we're doing this right now, I'm going to load the 8-round magazine because I haven't tested that one yet, and just see what happens.
Okay. Nice. I like it.
I have to do a little bit more looking into that 10-round magazine for the 9 compact. With the 8-round magazine, it just eats them up. Maybe the 10-rounder is just not a strong enough spring, maybe. Or you have to push the back of each round down when you load it in. I have to look more into that later. But these high points, as long as you stay off the slide with your reaction hand, they seem to do pretty well. These are definitely the brick that goes bang.
Well, I'll tell you, I had my preconceptions before we came out here.
I did too.
And I kind of like the fact, I mean, they go bang every time. And I like that. It's not pretty, but if you're going to put it on your nightstand next to your bed, it's going to protect you and your family. It's going to do its job. And $170 as opposed to $1,000. As opposed to 400 and something. I mean, if you can't go out and get the pretty ones, go get the ugly ones. Because the ugly ones work just as good, you know. I mean,
they've got their flaws like every other weapon system out there.
And you better get them while you can.
Best thing about these, you encounter slide lock, you run out of ammunition. That's gonna hurt. I threw this thing earlier.
I don't think it will.
See the dirt all up on this 45? I loaded 3 rounds in it just to test it, and it worked just fine. You can do that with a Glock. I wouldn't do it with a 1911 though.
No. Less than $200.
You you have a perfectly good self-defensive tool. Weapon.
Self-defensive?
Self-defense tool.
There you go.
Gun.
It's a brick, it goes bang.
This was not designed to kill a human being. It was designed to protect yourself and the ones you love.
So there you have it. Hi-Point 9C 45R, because of the rail.
That's what the magazine says. It's 45R.
Told you.
It says so right there. I don't know what the R stands for.
So there you have it. Check them out. Give us some opinions. Let me know what you think. I'm not saying get one of these and carry it with you unless it's like a last-ditch effort to get out of town because they already found everything else you got. That's what it's coming to. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. Stay armed.